What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Harrison, and today we are talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro leaks that are coming out and whether or not that is, in my opinion, needed at this point in time, or come holiday when it's rumored to come out. I'm not going to talk about the specs really at all during this video. I'm not a big specs guy. I can look at specs and get a general idea of what we're talking about, but as far as everything else goes, like I'm just not that type of person. You tell me it's more powerful, I believe you, right? Yeah, I want to talk about whether or not it's needed because I had the same thought process whenever the One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro came out years ago, where it was kind of this stopgap console, from the base model to the next gen hardware. And at the time, and even after that I've seen people kind of using it, it didn't. Obviously, it was an upgrade, and your games probably ran better. They did run better, but at the end of the day, the developers are going to target the base model of the system because that's where the players are. And if they kind of alienate the base model players and just kind of focus on the stopgap generation, I'm going to say, um, that could impact like the overall sales of a game. So while yes, it's good to have this extra console, or this more powerful console to play games, that's great. But yeah, developers are still going to focus on what piece of hardware has sold the most. So it's more of these consoles are more of a niche kind of thing, and I definitely understand that. So and it sounds like Xbox is going to be skipping that this generation. That they're, I think from the leaks last year, they're going to have some sort of all digital Xbox Series X coming this holiday. From the picture we got, it looks like it's like a cylinder device. So not going to get anything from Xbox as far as we know. We are supposed to be getting a haptic feedback controller, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, the PlayStation 5 Pro. Again, I had the same argument back, when everything else was announced. This one feels a little bit worse, in my opinion, because let's face it, this generation has kind of sucked for first party, right? I mean, let's obviously Xbox hasn't had much. They've had Forza, they have had two Forza games. They had Xbox. They had Halo Infinite, which you can play on the Xbox One, so that's not really even a next gen only experience. They haven't had a ton, right? This 2024, we're finally getting Indiana Jones and Avowed, and stuff that's only going to be on the series consoles. But even look at PlayStation 5. You've got what, Ratchet and Clank, you've got Demon Souls, you've got Returnal, Spider-Man 2, both Horizon and God of War were both cross-generational games. So we feel like I still feel like we've barely gotten into what these consoles can do. Third party has been fantastic. Third party usually always carries the generations anyways, because there's so many more third parties than there are first party games out there. But yeah, it still feels like we've barely gotten into this generation. And I know COVID was a huge issue with causing the slow rollout for these consoles to come out in the market with the chip shortages and stuff like that. But we were, at the beginning of the generation, we were promised like 60 frames per second with high fidelity graphics, and most games you either pick or choose. Um, so the argument for 30 FPS versus 60 is even greater now because consoles can only do one or the other, while PC can you know do it all at once if you've got a nice a nice rig. But yeah, so what are we gonna? Because you got to think that the PlayStation 5 Pro is at least going to be $550, if not 600. I think it's going to be $600, which is crazy to me for a console. I mean, they did do it with the PlayStation 3 at launch, years and years and years ago, and they quickly backpedaled and reduced the price of that. But $600 for a stopgap machine, where this generation already feels like it's kind of a wash. Especially with Xbox reporting that their next generation console is coming in 2026. So I would imagine PlayStation is a little bit longer than that if they're going to be doing this stopgap console. So it feels, I don't know, it just feels unnecessary in my opinion. And again, I know it's a niche product. But I just got a PlayStation 5 this month. I treated myself and got it for my birthday. And I already feel caught up with all the games that came out for the PlayStation exclusively. Now I know, games spread over, a 4-year period. I can condense it now. I can get through games pretty quickly if I want to, but I feel like for the most part, I mean, I've finished Spider-Man 2, which was fantastic. I went through and finished Miles Morales, which was on both PlayStation 4 and 5. I had already beaten God of War, already beaten Last of Us, which is now on both. Um, I do plan on playing Horizon Forbidden West at some point, but it's not like a priority game right now. I've got Ratchet and Clank that I do want to play through. So I already feel like I'm kind of caught up to all the big first party games that PlayStation offers right now, and the fact that we've got a new console coming out potentially this year. It's kind of crazy to me, and that's not me saying like, oh, I should have waited. Like I had no plans on, I knew that the PS5 Pro was rumored when I bought the PS5. But there's no way in hell that I'm spending $600 on a console. Now, if it's next generation, the next generation consoles, whatever they are, maybe potentially, but they've got to be something just crazy more powerful, not just kind of like a step up from, the Xbox One and PS4. I know they're way more powerful, but again, not being able to do both 60 frames and like have like high fidelity mode and stuff like that all in one without having to toggle anything, um, is still kind of crazy to me, but it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about the PS5 Pro. Again, I know a lot of people are going to pick this thing up. Again, a niche product. It'll probably, I think it'll sell pretty well. For the most part, not crazy numbers, but it'll probably do better than the PlayStation Portal and the PSVR 2, which it sounds like PlayStation has all but given up on that product, which I don't want to say I told you so, but yeah. And then the PlayStation Portal, I don't know. I feel like Sony's been in a weird place with their hardware here recently. I feel like they can't quite figure out exactly what they want to make, and then when they make, at least with the VR2, they knew what they wanted to make, but they didn't have any games lined up for it. They had Horizon that was like a pack-in game, and that was kind of it. They were leaving it up to third party, and that's the exact same thing they did for the PSVR 1, which is crazy. And the PlayStation Portal is something that no one really wanted. Everyone just kind of wants a Vita 2 or the next PlayStation, like a proper PlayStation Portable. Playing Wi-Fi only, streaming your games. It's kind of weird, and it can work, but then it may not work if your internet suffers connection or something like that. So kind of a weird device. And then the fact that if PlayStation already confirmed that they're not going to have any big first party games come out this year, so they're going to launch a brand new console that's $600 potentially with no new game. Now, I know they want to get this out there before GTA 6 comes out there so they can, say, hey, this is the best place to play GTA 6. And I get that's going to be a huge marketing push for PlayStation, but to not launch with anything is kind of insane. Even the Switch OLED, which, was just a screen upgrade and that's it, launched with Metroid Dread. So it was like a great game. Say, hey, this game looks beautiful on an OLED. Pick this up and pick Dread up. And I think that probably helped with Dread's sales overall, with it being the number one, Metroid, number one selling game in the franchise. So again, not to launch with the game, yeah, and we don't know anything. They could launch. I don't know. They could have Spider-Man DLC or something like that. Who knows? Or they could be lying, and we get something big. Who actually knows? And nothing is confirmed until PlayStation says it. But that seems a little bit wild to me. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It definitely helps out with engagement and pushing the video out to other viewers. So I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, let me know if you guys plan on picking up this PlayStation 5 Pro, if it's even needed, or if it's something that you're gonna skip and wait until the next the PlayStation 6 comes out. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.